Hi folks, here's a demonstration of our pick and place machine working with 01005 parts. Now this is not a fully automated part that the machine can use, so you'll be seeing a lot of manual operation. Here I'm doing an automated align to the part where it's detected the pick tip in the part, and I'll click the pick align button, which will move the tip over top of the part. It picked the part up on the side because it was initially on the side. When I pulled the tape off of the part and then drove the pick tip over top of the parts, they all reoriented themselves. They weigh nearly nothing on their side. And now the needle is over top of the upward looking camera trying to orient the 01005 resistor to the right rotation for where it's supposed to go on the target pad. When I initially came into view of the upward looking camera, the exposure wasn't correct before it started doing the rotational orientation. So what you're seeing here is me changing the time delay before the vision operation starts. So in the future, when you see it take a long time between me clicking the button and it starting the vision process, it's because I just changed it here to be a 3-second delay. So there it oriented it within 2 degrees of what it thought it should be. And so now we'll click the place align button, which will take the 01005 resistor over the target and try to align it. So there it found the tip and it found the pad, and I'm going to click Z place, which will drop the part down onto the board, and I've got double-sided tape that you can see here at the bottom left. And now I'm just going to back off the part using the keyboard command to raise the needle tip. Typing a capital Z will increase the Z value of the pick tip. A lowercase z drops it down. Now I'm going to click pick, and that will take me back to the pick location. But first I'm going to go to the feeders tab here and change the index that I want to go over top of. So this just says go to the second part and the cut tape. Click the pick button and it flies over there. And I'll try to find another 01005 part, but it didn't find the part there when I clicked the show vision command. So I'm going to try to move down to the next part and see if that helps, but it doesn't, because all the parts are on their side and that's not what it was expecting. So what I'm doing now is I'm training it to learn what the parts look like on their side, and all you have to do to teach it what something looks like is drag a box around it and then right click on it and tell it where the center of the part is, and that's all that you need to do to teach it something. So now I'll click show vision again and then pick a line and orient the tip over the part, and it jumped up to the needle, and we'll take it to rotate it again, but this operation will fail and I'll end up just taking it over to the target location and doing it manually. And I apologize for the sound quality here. I'm using a Creative Labs microphone from circa 1990 and it's awful. So it's trying to rotate the part, but it's not finding it. It's What I should have done is lower the pick tip on the z-axis so it would have been closer to the microscope head there, and change the focus on the camera so I would have been able to see it on the rotational view. But since all the parts are picking up on their sides and in random orientations, it's obviously not going to work. And you know, this is just a demonstration. Obviously we're not trying to suggest that anybody try to use the machine for 01005 parts. It's just a thing we had never tried to do before with the machine. We're kind of testing its capabilities, and you know, you can use the machine to manually manipulate the parts. Not what we're really aiming for, but that very limited capability does exist there. So here you can see on the x-axis camera, it's not finding the tip in the right location. So I'm rotating the part to try to orient it to the pads on the test pattern here. And as I do that, it will find the part, because it's really looking for the part, not the needle itself, because sometimes the needle will pick it up on not dead center, so we want to center on the part and not the needle. So as I rotate it around here, there you see the rotation is just about what the computer vision thinks it should be, and if I go a few more degrees there, then it locks on. Now I'll go and click place align, which will align the part to the pad and automatically jump me over there. And now I'll click Z place to drop it down. Now it looks like I'm rotating it some more. You can see the keys to control the movement on the top of the raw video feed there. Capital A and lowercase a rotate the part as shown. For the video at the bottom left, I had to use a macro lens with 3 extension tubes, and as you can see, it's very wobbly even though it's on a tripod. A lot more wobbly than the video from the cameras on the machine itself. So now I'm taking it over to get yet another part. We're just going to lay out 6 of these 01005s and then probably never revisit them again. They're really, really hard to work with, and if you lose one, they're gone forever. So this one I'm trying to pick up. They usually jump up to the needle tip, but this one didn't, and it's not clinging to it. As you see, I drove it down. I'm coming up off of it a little bit. I'm trying to just nudge it a little bit, but it's not coming along for the ride. So this time I click on the vacuum, and it's really hard to pull a good vacuum through that tiny needle there, but looks like we've got it. Then I'll turn the vacuum off. Now it looks like the vacuum's still on. I'm going to change that time delay to 5,000 and try to have it automatically rotate the part for me. So here the aperture is changing, and you see it's not finding the part at all. Obviously the field of view is nearly all black, and I've only got a few pixels there. Again, I should have brought the part down closer to the camera and changed the focus on it so that I could have gotten a lot more pixels, but I didn't know they were going to be all on their edge when I picked them up. hopefully tomorrow when we do the 0201s, they'll weigh significantly more, and we'll be able to actually work with them without them jumping around through, quantum effects. These things are so small. That's just a joke. I know they're not being manipulated by quantum effects, but so here we're bringing the part around in rotation, and the computer vision's still not finding it. That blue reticle there is the pads that the part's supposed to go on. It's just that we don't have very many pixels to define the part, and so the computer vision is failing just because nothing really looks like the part in the scene. So I believe I just give up on trying to do it in an automated fashion and just drive the part over using the keyboard. Yeah, so we just turn off all of the vision and we drive it home manually. Now we'll fly over, try to get our next part. When you tell the machine to run through a job, it'll automatically increment that index for you, but when you manually drive the machine around, you have to do that yourself right now. So here it's found the part but not the tip in the Y-axis camera, and that's because the tip's kind of straddling that black-white border. So I moved it over using the keyboard command, and it found it, and now it's gonna align, and again it's taking 5 seconds before it actually starts the alignment process because I changed that setting on the camera settings tab to allow time for the exposure to adjust on the upward looking camera. So that's why that took so long. And this part doesn't want to come along for the ride. I'm trying to nudge it here. I decided just to give up on trying to get this part up, increment the index, and go over to the next part. It found the tip but not the part since they're all on their sides. So now I just drive the tip over manually and try to pick up the part. And I believe this one jumps up to the needle tip before I get too close to it. Nope, all the way down on top of it now. These 01005s are really torture to work with. Here I'm just driving the machine along, trying to get the next part, and see if this one jumps up to the tip. Yeah, there, just jumped. I'll just go ahead and click the place button, and then it'll take me into the field of view of the target pads. And I've already got the show vision button clicked, so I can see what the output of the computer vision is, and it's not finding the part. So I'm rotating it now. And we'll just set it down manually here. So obviously the moral of the video here is don't try this at home. 01005s are torture to work with, and I don't recommend doing designs with them and then trying to use a pick and place machine to place them. But if you had a customer where cost was no option, at least you'd be able to do it manually if you absolutely had to, and they were willing to let you charge a fortune to get the job done. Turn the vision on. It likes that part there, so that's fine. We'll just jump down to it, clicking the pick a line button. It's going to wait that 5-second delay that we told it to, find everything, and then jump over. We'll just go ahead and drive the tip down in Z, and you saw the part jump up there. We don't even have the vacuum on. We'll take it over to the target pads. Rotating the part around. The computer vision very easily finds the pads, but doesn't lock on to the part in the X camera. Rotating the part manually now. it's not picking up the part in the X-axis camera, so we'll just turn off the computer vision and take it the rest of the way in manually, one small step at a time. We've got the part right above the pads, just trying to make sure that everything's aligned. I don't know why. At this point, we're just goofing off. Put it down on the sticky tape. Turn off the vacuum. Start to retract the tip. Now we'll go back to our cut tape for one last 01005 part. It didn't find the part in the Y-axis camera. Again, all the parts are on their side, so the vision's not doing well with that. I'll try to pick this part up. It's right here. Turn the vacuum on. It's not coming, so we'll jump down a couple notches. You can see one of the 01005s there completely out of its well. Do an alignment there that works, and then the part jumps up out of its well onto the tip. Vacuum not even on, I don't think. And then we'll fly over to the target pads. This one, I think we're just gonna drive in manually. The vision not having a lot of success with the parts having only a few pixels associated to the camera view on them. And this will be our last 01005 part. It's kind of awful, but I mean, I don't know how else you would even work with 01005 parts. You wouldn't be able to do them by hand by any means. I'm not even sure how you'd pick them up or do anything with them without a machine such as this. Not to say that, you know, this is the intended use of the machine, but there you have it. And if you've made it all this way to the video, thanks for sticking with us. And that's the end.